So much has happened over the last 20 years for probably you personally, as well as for your character. What do you think that fans will probably be the most surprised about to see where Mia is when we pick up in this story?
I think, well, what I've loved, because I can't help Googling, what's going on in terms of like fans' reactions and reporters' reactions, is
Sure.
is that they love the fact that like Mia's back in the action, which is the same response I had when I read the script. And I didn't take that lightly. I trained really hard, and I also think they're going to be really excited about Mia and Letty's scene together because it's the first time we've seen it in 20 years. It's the first time we like actually interact and talk about what we're feeling and how how we feel about stuff independently of the dudes around us. So I thought that was really cool, and hopefully we go further with that as well.
I kept thinking, I was like, oh, this passes the Bechtel test, which I don't know if you've heard of, where it's like movies that have to have two female characters talking to each other about something other than a boy or a man.
What's
And
it called?
it's called the Bechtel test. And it's
Bechtel test. I've
yeah,
never
and
heard
there's
that
so many
before.
movies that don't pass the Bechtel test because most women are either talking about a guy or not or talking to a guy and not to each other.
That is genius.
So I was like, yes, ladies. And also we have to talk about, I understand someone very special has a little cameo in the
Yes.
film. Can you talk
Yes,
about that?
my son Julian is in the film for a split second, but he's so excited. We already have his suit for the premiere, and I was just so proud of him because like he was so professional. He got fitted for his costume, and he did so well. So.
I mean, honestly, that just seems really fitting because, you know, the whole franchise has been at its core about family. What was that like for you to be back on set amongst these people? Was it sort of like a family reunion, like stepping back into that situation?
I never lose contact with anyone. I'm always in contact with Justin, with Finn, with Michelle, and with Chris. So it feels like a just a natural progression when I see everyone again. And even with the crew, like we're all so familiar with each other. It creates this environment where we can all be creative and really, really comfortable, which is the best way to work, really.
There's obviously, you know, a major character that's missing and has been for a while now in this movies. How do you deal with that when you're on set? Is that something that you sort of just address personally and kind of carry it through in your work, or how do you deal with that loss?
I feel like Paul's loss is something that, for me personally, isn't something that I have to address on set because it's something that was such a loss for me in such a massive way. And it's just something I deal with either daily or, I don't know, it's a very, very personal thing. And there's some days on set where it'll be a set piece where, you know, the whole cast would be there together. And so then it makes me remember him. But I think the beautiful thing about the franchise is that it's also a way of celebrating Brian. And I love the fact that Brian's still alive within the universe. So so most of the time it's a joyful thing rather than being a sad thing.